Last time on the Results Driven Fitness Show.
Yeah!
Yes!
With the squat, the main difference between
Word, Jim. Newsflash. That's a newsflash. But you're going to hear us talk a lot about fitness here and the fitness systems that drive the decisions that we make for our members. One of the things that we don't talk about often enough, but something that we're probably more proud of, is the awesome community that we've built here. The two main training styles that we have are team training, which is our bigger group fitness class, and we have our small group training. The cool thing about that is that you're not alone, and the energy of the session is what drives people to show up and just give it their all while they're between these walls.
My training sessions are so much more in my control than me just stepping into a room and letting an instructor guide me on moves that pretty much we could all do. This has set a different bar. I have seen a very clear change in my muscle definition. I've seen it on the in-body, and I've certainly seen it with my day-to-day activity. There are clothes that I wouldn't have even dreamt of putting on that I am so much more comfortable pulling out of my closet now. I know I'm not in this alone. I know I'm part of something finally, and that the people that are around me and that surround me and the coaches are just as invested in my goals as I am. Looking around, seeing people do cool is inspiring.
So that was a pretty nice story that Janine just shared. I mean, it's interesting just to hear, about how she really just feels like she has that support. It's something that she was always looking for, but finally found with her group of friends at RD between the members and the coaches.
Now we're gonna roll into a little interview that Ed did with Janine on the couch. And we're gonna discuss community and how she, as a coach, has started to feel what it feels like to be a coach, obviously, and help members start to reach their goals on the other side.
What's up, friends? Coach Ed here.
Coach Janine.
And
Hi.
it's the couch. This may not be obvious to everyone, but Coach Janine is also person Janine.
A human, last I checked.
Real live human being. Janine started here as a client, and our theme this month with the show is just talking about, really getting started or your foundation. So whether you're getting started in fitness for the first time or just revisiting and rebuilding your foundation, it's important to think about those things that people who have been successful. What are those things that they did to make sure they got a strong start? So with Janine, we actually did a testimonial. We try to share stories here as much as we can about our clients and our coaches. And the one thing that she brought up that was really interesting was just the fact that really for the first time, she feels like she's not in it alone, and she has just a group of people around her that care about her results as much as she does. So why don't we chat about that a little bit?
Let's talk.
All right.
I know I'm not in this alone. I know I'm part of something finally, and that the people that are around me and that surround me and the coaches are just as invested in my goals as I am. Looking around, seeing people do cool is inspiring.
So in the clip there, Janine was talking about finally feeling like she's a part of something. So why don't we just go back to when you first started as a client? Like, what was that feeling like coming through the door, and how were things for you in terms of support?
Okay, totally scary. I knew I needed to change my workouts. So it was a big leap of faith for me to walk through the door to check out a place that I really didn't know too much about. And I walked in, and right off the bat, I was impressed because there was an assessment that took place. Nobody tossed me onto the floor and said, great, here's how the day is going to go. It was let's find the best way to get you the most success out of your goals. And that right there stopped me in my tracks.
You know, a lot of the beginning of your journey, there was, even though you saw enough to trust it, there was still a lot of
It was humbling.
a lot of butting heads in the beginning.
It was humbling. I had weights taken away from me at the beginning, and with great reason. Once I peeled it back and understood with you guys that it was going to be a journey that we were going to go on together. I'm a huge why person, right? And there's a bunch of it that is blind faith. You walk into a room thinking, "Hey, I can do that," and then coming here and understanding the whys and having my training peeled back to address safety issues, to address mobility issues, to address control. That was super eye-opening. And every time we proved a why right, it was, one more tick in the trust column for me.
Okay. So, obviously talking about just really adding, I guess, points or checks in the trust column. When did it transition from you thinking about really strictly fitness and RD being about your fitness journey to becoming a coach and being able to foster relationships with other people?
I guess it was my aha moment for myself. We used to joke in the beginning when I would come in, I'd be like, I want to do what I saw in Ninja Warrior last night. And so what we really got out of that is I wanted to be strong. And when my moments happened and my clicks happened for me, I thought to myself, like, if I can give this as a gift to somebody else, they can get there and I can help foster that, or I can be a part of that. That was, it spoke to me. It was like definitely part of where I wanted to be next in my life, to be able to take and give to other people.
So you're like the fitness Santa Claus or Robin Hood?
Neither.
So you had that moment where you realized that fitness was something that you could help people incorporate into their lives. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about any like those first moments where it really clicked for you, not as a client, but where it clicked for you and you realized, like, I actually just had an impact on this person's life?
Oh. I think it happens almost daily here, and it's when I catch a client surprise themselves. That truly is, and I know some of the clients have heard me say this, it's truly what keeps me coming in every day, their personal aha moment. One of my favorite things here is when someone realizes that the bells are in kilos and not pounds. That is awesome. You guys surprise yourselves, whether it's a foot connection, whether it's finding the top of a deadlift, whether you find yourself and correct yourself through it. All of those moments are like my be-backs. The golf swing, I get it now. They're my be-back moments. When you guys nail it, you catch yourselves, and you smile. You totally smile. You might not believe it, but you do.
So common theme with everything we're talking about this month is just that whether you're building the foundation for the first time or you're just revisiting to kind of shore up some of the cracks in that foundation, it's always relying back on that initial thing that helped you. And for Janine, the big thing was
the community. Just knowing if I'm not here, someone's going to notice. Someone's going to call me up. Someone's going to call me out. I haven't seen you on the floor in a couple of days. When are you going to schedule time for you? Yeah. And that's been a giant help. It's just easy to let yourself slide.
Yeah, especially when you're just trying to help other people.
Yeah.
So we're going to, unfortunately for you watching, Janine's going to be leaving now, and it's going to be me and Mike, but he has pretty cool hair, so we'll see you in a minute.
Gone, but not forever.
Janine's story is pretty interesting because on one side it looks like there's been a lot of change. She's gone from beginner client to more advanced to starting off as a coach and just getting to the point that she's confident in helping people along their fitness journey. But the thing that I see is that nothing's really changed. Even though she's made a lot of progress, she's found in both of her roles, whether it's as a beginner client or as a newer coach, she's just found that community is what keeps her going. When she started off as a client, it's the people here that made her come in every day excited to work out. And now as a coach, just seeing people's small victories is what helps keep her excited. And then in terms of her own fitness, knowing that she had an appointment, knowing she had somebody that would hold her accountable was super important. And it's the same thing she's troubleshooting right now. She's learning how to work with the other coaches more as peers rather than in that client-coach relationship. But either way, it's the same thing. It's that support from a team of people dedicated to helping her succeed over time.
And then if we're talking about this month about starting a foundation and starting to achieve your goals, the big takeaway that we want for you is that we need you and we want to and encourage you to find the people that you fit in with. You could be a lone wolf. There are those people who just put on the headphones and rage out at the gym that they go to. But what we found and what we preach is that finding that group of people to inspire you, to make you want to show up day after day when you don't feel like it, to show up and have those friends and be able to not only work out with them, but also just share human stories about struggles at home or struggles at work. That's more about what the community is about and why people continue to show up here at Results Driven. So we hope you can take that away and find the people that you fit in with the most. Thank you for joining us once again for the Untitled RD Fitness Show.
That's the name.
Sure. Next month is going to be February. We're launching our 6-week transformation program we're calling Super You. So our theme for February is going to be surging towards your goal.
So we're going to talk about surging, and really that's just putting all of the energy you have available into making a decent amount of progress towards your goal. But we'll talk about some strategies on how you can plan that out throughout the year.
And we're also going to talk about our fitness program, more of how we program exercises. So again, we want to give you tactical advice at home to be able to apply some of the concepts we use here for your own workouts. So we're going to go into how we layer exercises during the workout, and hopefully you can take some of those suggestions and apply them to what you do at home or at your local gym.
We're also going to talk about shakes. Our system in terms of nutrition is based around education. So we want people to learn over time how to incorporate the right whole foods into their meal plan so that they can live a healthy life. But shakes tend to be a way to take a side door into results. So check back next week. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how it can help jumpstart your results. Thanks for joining us this week, and we hope you enjoyed the show.
Get ready to surge.
That's my surge face. Actually, it's interesting though that tends to be our lifestyle in turn. You have to do the point of that conversation. Fucking shit. And spends time working out with them. Fucking shit. The interesting part comes fucking long pause. Just cut it. When people first start at Results,
I'm gonna scratch my face.
and you just heard, and just really is about changing their life, and they're about that life.
Dog life.
Starting, ending, frimming, hips. Bless you. That was a touching story.
Thank you, Coach Janine.
Continuously have to do work just to overcome it, and that's okay.